It's good to see everyone. And to start off document production, we're going to start with layout. Layout. Every software or every task has a layout. Okay, so you need to know this. Okay, so the first thing we'll look at is in document production is how do we plan the document? How do you create a new document? How do you open existing document? This is just, we call it basic document. Okay, we call it basic document. Understand that, because the whole idea of this chapter is for us to help us develop that document layout skills. Okay. It does not just relate to word processing, process document, but anything that is electronic. Okay, anything that is electronic. Okay, including images. Okay, so such document can include the process document for Microsoft Word. It could be reports from database, um, uh, and also it could be graph charts, also from spreadsheets, reports also from spreadsheets, okay, using Microsoft Excel. Of course, the report from database is Microsoft Access, okay, even as far as presentations using Microsoft PowerPoint or even a web page. Okay, so each of them has a layout. So new documents needs to be created. You can create new document in PowerPoint, you can create a new document in Excel, you can create a new document in database, you can create a new document, even in the web page. Okay, so with regards to the target audience, so that is very, very important. So how then do we plan it? What's the purpose of the document? Who's the target audience? How do we make it suitable for the audience? Okay, what's the appropriate medium and what's the appropriate package? So for the appropriate package for process document, we're using the Microsoft Word. Okay, so that's very, very important. So we're going to start with the basic, creating a new document. How do we create a new document? Now, to create a new document is anything fancy, right? The whole essence, if you're creating a new document, this simply means that you're clicking on the file type and then you're clicking on new. Okay, now if you open your Word right here, right, you open it, and once you open it here, right, and then you have a blank document. Okay, so when you're creating a new document, after clicking on the blank document, you have to go to File, and then you click on New, and then you have to choose a blank document. The whole idea for it. Just going to move this here. The next one is, what if it's not open? What if the Microsoft Word is not open? Again, you have to search for it. When you search for it, it's going to come into this fold like I just did by searching on Word, and we click on open, you're going to have this. So if it's not open, you have to open the software and then you have to click on a blank document. So this is very important. So again, this is for Word, this is for Excel, this is for Access, this is for PowerPoint. We have done PowerPoint, so probably blank presentations. Now we're moving toward blank document. Okay, from there we'll move to Access. You're going to see blank database, and then for Excel you have a blank workbook. So if it's not open, okay, it simply means that you have to open the software and then you have to click on a blank document. Okay, so this is very, very important. Open an existing document. How do you open an existing document? That is, you open an existing document if the software is already running. Okay, you have the software running, simply means that you have the software opened. How do you do that? You have to be very careful. Seeing some Word documents that have been recently created, so I just have to be very careful not to open some things. Okay, so how to open, if it's open the document already open, we use the browse feature. Okay, so again, the browse simply means you go to open and then you browse, and you just open anyone, right? Let me see, is there anything I need to open? Let me just open Year 9 class. Okay, Year 9 class, I think it's fine. Okay, so this is Year 9 class, right? So yes, I'm just careful, right? So we have this. Okay, so that's if it's how to open a document if the software is already running. You use the browse feature to do that. Okay, so hope that is clear. The next one is, please, if I'm too fast, please do well to let me know, right? Now, the next one is, how do we locate folders that contain documents that you require? Now, what you have to do is you make use of what we call this right here. Most time you want to open a generic file. We've talked about generic files, right? Chapter 11, file management. We talked about it. We have the text, TXT, we have the RTF, and we have the CXV. So most time you want to open an RTF. And what happens is when you check for the document, you might see just only doc, right? That's .docx. So the need for you to switch to all files to be able to see that, although current versions says otherwise, because by seeing a Word document, you can actually see an RTF embedded on it. So we use the all files, and then we're able to see not only the RTF, but also CXVs that are not part of the file type. So this is very, very important. Okay, so you can open the CXV and you click on open, and it's going to open. Okay, it's going to open. Okay, but for RTF and the TXT, the Word document is going to say that it has been opened. Okay, enter and edit data. Data can include text, can include numbers. Okay, so how do we edit them? How do we edit them? Okay, so editing text or numbers in the document simply means you're just making modifications to them. Okay, so for example, I have this. So if I want to edit, I could just say, okay, themes, okay, styles. Okay, I've edited, right? I've edited, and then the next thing is for me to save as. Okay, save as. And I'm during this course, I will talk about difference between save and save as. Okay, save and save as, and we'll talk about that. Okay, so the next one is, so there are a number of ways we can edit, and most of them is to move the last sentence to the end of the first paragraph, okay, as much as possible. We can move, we can cut and paste, we can copy and paste, and this is something that is usually very, very common. Okay, so we can just highlight this and then right click on it, cut it. I'll hit on delete on my keyboard to take off the space, that blank paragraph, hit on delete on my keyboard, and probably I want to add it here. So right here, after this paragraph, I'll hit on enter, and then now I can just paste, right? Just paste. Keep the source formatting, just paste, or just Control V, and then you paste. So this is something that you will be introduced. This is something that we will be doing in document production most time when we have to move from a certain paragraph to another paragraph. And yes, we'll do that. Okay, so it's important for you to have this in mind, knowing what is cut and paste and copy and paste. Again, this is something we are going to look at right now because it falls under the editing method. So what's cut and paste? Now, from the word cut, okay. Now, in Windows 11, we have it as a scissors, right? Because that's literally what scissors can do, just to cut, literally, just to cut, right? So the whole idea for cut is that you are moving the total entirety of that paragraph, and you are moving it to a new location without keeping any duplicates. Okay, so once you cut it, right, it simply means you're moving the sentence and then you're placing it on the Windows clipboard when it's temporarily held, and then you can now move that cursor to any paragraph that you wish to, like we've just done, and then you can now paste it by right clicking to obtain a drop down, and then you paste. Is the whole idea. So again, a cut simply means to remove, and then a paste simply means you're just placing it there. Okay. Then paste copy and paste simply means that you're taking a duplicate of that paragraph and you're placing it in a different location. Make sense? So you're taking a duplicate of that paragraph and you are placing it in a new location. So right here, you see that this copies the sentence to the clipboard, but does not remove it. Right here, but does not remove it. So the whole idea of copy and paste is you're making a duplicate from the paragraph, right? And then you're placing it. I didn't say paste. You can't be explaining paste with paste, right? All right. So you're placing it in a new paragraph. Okay, so that's important. Delete. Okay, simply means to remove an item from the right. Okay, to remove an item from the right. Why backspace is to remove an item from the left. So know the difference. Backspace is to remove an item from the left, to remove an item from the right. Okay. So this is the advice the textbook gave to us. And I'm very sure most of you are very keen to this. In fact, you're taking this advice to heart, which is what? To cut is Ctrl plus X, right? Ctrl X, and to copy is Ctrl C, and to paste is Ctrl V. This is not I'm very sure this is not something new. Okay, if you're hearing this for the first time, if you hear this is the keyboard, if you're hearing this keyboard shortcut for the first time, let me just see your hand. Emoji, your reaction hands or something. Yeah, just hard hands. So it's not new. It's something we do on a daily um processing of our documents. Okay, but it's important for we to talk about it, because most of the time you will be doing that. Ctrl C, Ctrl V, Ctrl X, and Ctrl V, right? But when you're starting off, I would have to go the long way route, right? I have to go the long route. So that is very important. Okay, please do not turn on your video, right? This class is recorded. All right. The next one is drag and drop. Drag and drop. Okay. Now we know we do this all the time. We do this all the time. Like literally, if you don't do drag and drop, I pretty much we do this even when we're uploading something or literally anything that makes our work easy. Because most of you don't copy X and V, just drag and drop, right? So the whole idea of the drag and drop is easy when both positions on the screen at the same time, but harder when you need to scroll through the document before dropping. It's easy when it's positioned. Maybe you're doing you're splitting your screen. Okay, you're splitting your screen and you have to just move this, move this, move this. Just take it here and then paste it here. But it's not really easy. And I will show you an example. And most of you like, I will show you an example. I will show you an example real quick. I'll just do this. Just increase the font size to probably, I want to make it very big, right? So it goes to 2 pages, right? It goes to 2 pages. So probably I want to drag this here. Now watch this. It's not easy to do this. You see, I want to drag video here, and you can see it says it's not easy. Maybe I want to put it here, right? I want to put it here. So it's not really easy to do. Not really easy to do. But it's very easy when it's positioned. Both of them are being positioned, and we can do that. Okay? We can do that. Okay. All right. All right. The next one is placing an object. Okay, so let's place an object from a CSV file. Okay, how do we place an object from a CSV file? But probably want to place a table. Okay, probably want to place a table from a CSV file. So what we'll do here is let's use here, and then we want to place an object. So we're going to click on File, click on Open, Browse, and probably do I have a CSV file? Let me switch to all files. Switch to all files. Okay, I don't have a CSV. Okay, probably I will have to just go to a filler and just pick one. Just pick anyone really. Let's see. Do we have anyone to pick? Okay, it's not here. So I'm just gonna pick all these let me see. Do we have okay, I have a CSV. I'll just pick this, right? And I'm just gonna paste this. Now I have this. Good. Now this is going to show now notice this is CSV, which means comma separated values. So we're having all this commas, right? And it's really not easy. But I want to make a point with this, right? Because from this we can now convert this to a table. But because of it has so many too much elements, I'm just going to undo this. Thank you. So we have this here. It's going to open here and we can work with this. So it's going to open this right here. right? And then we can now convert it. So what I would do is, it's just too much. So what I would do, I would just do, let me do names. So we have this. The whole idea here is, I've shown you how to do that. So it's going to open like this. And now we need to convert something like this to a table. How do we convert something like this to a table? So let me do that, right? So I have name, okay, comma. I have class, okay. So I have yes, Chikamso, okay. I have a 10. I have um I'm just going to use across the board, right? So I have Iyanu Oluwa Balogu. Okay, just Iyanu, right? Just Iyanu, year 9, and we have I'm just going to go with so we have Emanuela, year 11. So we have this, right? So let's see how we can do this. So what I will do is I'm going to highlight this. Under insert, I'm going to go to tables, and I will say convert text to tables, right? So I have convert text to tables. Now, numbers of column is 2. I just want 2 columns, name and class. Okay, name and class. I have name and class. And now notice this is going to be 4 rows. Okay, so again, I'm separating the text by what? A comma, right? So if I click on OK, watch what happens. It's going to create a table for me. So now I have the names. I have Chikamso, year 10, Yanolua, year 9, Emanuela, year 11. Okay, so this is one way we can do this. Okay, how we can convert CSVs to tables. So we can convert the text, right? And then we can convert it to a table. Okay, so hope this is clear. All right. The next one is how we can format. Okay, how we can format, delete cells, remove column. It's not anything tedious. What you have to do is you can highlight this row, right? Or you can click here, or when your cursor changes to this, you can right click and then right here under layout, delete columns. If you want to delete a row, click here, right here under layout, table layout, and then you can delete your what? You can delete your row. Okay, so that is done. So how to place a screenshot in a document. Okay, to place a screenshot in a document, we don't have to worry about that because we have the snipping tool for us, right? The snipping tool is going to come very handy for us. So that's one way. But if you want to place a screenshot in a document, you can use the Alt plus print screen, and that will also do. But we already have the snipping tool, and everybody likes it, right? I also did a video on the snipping tool, so probably you can just check it out and learn more how you can actually, because there's so much more to snip into. Okay, all right. How to place a shape into a document is very key, right? So how do we place a shape? Let's say, for example, I want to place this shape right here. Let's say I want to place insert shapes. Okay, do tell. Okay, let's say I want to place this. So I'm going to draw it. Okay, probably I will have to format it because the shape field has to be no fill. The outline will have to be black, and I can just increase the weight of it. Okay, increase the weight of it to probably be something like this. Okay, so yes, so if I want to do this, I have to click here, my shape format, wrap text. I'm going to make it true because I want this to be wrapped around the text. So my wrap text, I'm going to make it true, and I want it to be wrapped around my text. So now I have it. I can now move it with my Alt key, and now it's wrapped. Okay, it's wrapped. Good. Okay, so we're just having fun with it, right? So that's what layer is all about. So we can do that as much as possible. Okay, very, very important. Okay, the next one is let's see, grouping. Of course, we can do grouping. Okay, especially when we want to group an item. multiple objects, you can actually do the grouping as much as possible. Okay, so your lines and all this is format auto shapes. You can format your auto shapes to have colors, fill colors, and of course, depending on the weight you want to give to it, that can also be done. We've talked about wrap text, how we can wrap text around uh, images and shapes also as well. So although this is usually learned in 12, chapter 12, which is images, but since it's something we didn't talk about, I'm going to talk about it here. So for example, I want to insert let's say I want to insert, it's still the same thing with shapes, literally. If you want to insert an image, this device, okay, what image? Okay, I have some image I can just use this, right? So I have this, right? And all I have to do, if I want to maintain aspect ratio, reduce the width to probably 3 centimeters. 3 centimeters, and then I can wrap the text, right? True. Now it's wrapped. Okay, so it needs to be in line. So I need to move it forward. Now is now in line with the text. Good. Okay. Creating tables. Okay. How we can create tables is still the whole process of creating tables. Here, I can create my tables here. Let's say I want to create my tables here, right? So I will come to insert tables and then insert tables, or you can use here, whichever we want to do, right? It's fine. Whichever we want to do, or insert tables, and that is fine. Okay. All right. We've talked about place an object in the table. Place an object in the table is still the same way you would have done it in any text. So I think I have, so let's say I want to let's say I want to create a new, let's go to insert left. So let's say I want to place an object here. So if I want to place an object here, I'm just going to do this here. And there we have it. So now I can resize it in such a way that it doesn't. Okay, so I have it placed here. And I can make it right. I can make it left. Okay, center, right, whichever I want to do is fine. So I have it here. Okay, so it's still the same process of doing that. Okay, so we've talked about placing an object. The objects there is image, images, shapes, videos, even from online images. You can also do that as well. Okay, but for IGCSE, you're not using online because you're not connected to the internet, so you're being provided with the shapes. Okay, and also to place text into your tables. We did that in spreadsheet and presentations, chapter 19. Okay, so more or less you have to highlight the tables, and then you can just Control V. Okay, the same thing as also editing what a table. Same thing. Inserting columns. Okay, so we're just going to do insert columns, insert row. So I've done for insert columns, right? So all I did here was click here, and then right here I go to insert. Please delete. So I have my insert here. So I have insert left. This is for column left. I can insert above. That will be a row. Okay, or you can just right click, and then right here, what's it, right? So let me highlight it. Yes, and then you can see insert here, column to the left, column to the right, row above, row below. So anyone that is, this is for row, right? This is for column, this is for column, this is for row. Okay, so it's important. That's why I say row and column. The first two are rows, the last two are columns. Okay, it's important for you to know that. Although I'm actually using the Microsoft 365, so I want to believe it's for everybody across the board. Okay, for everybody across the board. Okay, so I've done insert row. Delete row is still pretty much the same thing, right? So I'm going to delete Yanoloa. Sorry, I'm going to delete. So what I'll do here is, right, hit on my delete right here on the row and column section, delete, and then I can delete my row. So Yanoloa is gone. She's been deleted, right? So not gone, deleted. Okay. Okay, so the same thing, you delete a column, still the same thing. Okay, I have to highlight the column. Now, this is column, this is rows. Okay, this is column, this is rows. So to do this, I'm going to come here to delete, and then I will delete my column. So this is gone. It's deleted. Okay. Merge cells. So let's talk about merge cells. Now, what's a merge cell? A merge cell is a combination of multiple cells to act as a single cell. So for example, I want to merge, let me undo, Ctrl Z to undo everything. Let's say I want to merge this. I want to merge this across the column. To do this, I'm going to highlight everything here. Now, right here, I have a merge cell, and now we have it like this. So now I can even go as ahead to say, okay, under my, right here for the pictures, under my picture format, I can now increase the width. So we have it like this. Again, I'm just playing around, just having fun, right? And also you're doing the same too. So we have this. Okay, so the whole idea of merge cell is combination of multiple cell to act as a single cell. Okay, sort data. How can we sort data? So let's sort the data. Okay, let's sort the data. So let's sort it. Now, to sort this data, I will have to highlight this. Okay, highlight it. Then under my layout, I'm going to go to sort. Okay, to sort. It's containing merge field. Okay, it's fine. Let me undo it because of the merge field. So I have images, or not. I'll just take off this. Let me just take this off. Okay, so I want to sort this. So I'm going to highlight everything here. Sort. Now I'm going to sort by not Chikamso. I'm not sorting by Chikamso, right? I'm going to sort by colon. Now, notice the reason why I did not highlight the headings. I didn't highlight the headings because I don't want the headings to be sorted along with it. So I'm going to highlight this. Okay, sort right here on your layout, and I'm going to switch to, I want to sort by class. So I'm going to go to column 2, right? And it's going to be ascending order. So I'm going to have year 9, year 10, year 11. So I'm going to click on OK. So now, but literally it works the whole way. So let's do 9. Okay, I think maybe because of the extra space. Let's do 9 and 10. So let's do this. And let's see. I think this should work now. So I have my column 2 ascending order, and we should have this. Fine. Yeah, that's what we're talking about. We should have this. Fine. So it's important. This is very, very important. Again, it's sorting. I think the old essence was because we have the Y, the text, which is Y-E-A-R, which is ye. Okay, so that's very, very important. Okay, so that is for sorting, how to sort in ascending and descending. Ascending order talks about the lowest to the highest, descending from the highest to the lowest. How can we format a table? Very important. How can we format a table? Let's say we want to format this table, right? So I'm going to select here. Then right here under layout, I'm going to go to the properties. Properties right here. So here I have alignment is left, text wrapping, none. I don't have a text wrapping. And I can put a preferred width to the table. Let's say I want to give it okay, 1.5. And it's good, of course. Please, the measurement unit is in centimeters. So I have this. No. Okay, what just happened? Let me see. Properties, prefer width for the table. Yes. Yes, I think let me do 4 points. Let's see. Still the way it is. Prefer it. Let's see. Okay, this is for the table. Sorry, this is for the table. So the table is going to be where it is. So I'm just going to check this. I want it for the cell. Yes, I want it for the cell. So I'm going to check this. I want it for the cell, right? And so I'm just going to make it, I want it to be vertical alignment middle. So I'm going to make it 8. Good. So this is for the cell. So I have this. And if I go here for the cell, I have this as well. So this is for the cell. And for the rows, this is for the cell itself. Now for the rows, I can specify how I want the rows to look like. So let's say for the rows, I want the rows to be like 2 centimeters right here. This is for the rows. So please, it's important for you to know that. So the cell is fine. The tables, I'm okay with the table. Column, in terms of the column, 8, because the cell is 8. So cell and column is the same thing. Okay, because it's going to adjust both the columns, both the column and the cell as well. Okay, so it's 8 across board. Okay, so rows across, most time they want you to distribute it. So this is how you can do it. Okay, so all what you're seeing here is what I've shown you, right? Again, it has to be in, the measurement has to be in centimeters. So how do we change it to centimeters? I'll click on File, click on More, Options, Advanced, scroll down to Display, and then Show measurement in units of centimeter. If it's not in centimeter, we have a problem. So it has to be in centimeters. Okay. All right. Horizontal cell alignment. So we've done the horizontal cell alignment, um, where the cells are being aligned in this manner, and I'll explain what this is. So here you having um, this. This can be what? Centered and also middle aligned, and we have this here. So there's a difference. Okay, there's a difference to have it here. You can 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 also have it here. Okay. The reason why I had to extend this is so you can now see. When we talk about middle align, it has to be here. So this is middle align, and both is middle align horizontally and vertically. Look at it. Center text horizontally and vertically within the text. So it's a bit different from this. When you have this, it's a bit different because this one is just moving the cell. This is just moving the table, rather. But this right here on the layout is moving the cells. So you need to know that. Also, I'm going to add in something new. So let me add in something right here to my insert. So let me insert left. Okay. I might need to, let me undo it. I might need to adjust it a bit. So let me go to my properties, and I have to select this properties and adjust it a bit. Let me make it okay, maybe 5 centimeters will not be bad, right? So I'll have to click here because I'm inserting a new one. So you can just do it here. Whichever one you want to do is fine. Okay. So now let's say I have ICT, right? I have ICT. So to do this, I'm going to highlight everything, and right here I'm going to merge. Now there's a text direction to choose the direction in which it needs to go. So I'm going to do this, right? I don't want it to be this. So I'm going to change the direction. So this is the direction I want it to be, and I have to make it this, right? So there are times where I might have to do this, right? With this selected, I might have to do this, which is my table design, and then my shading. So I can give probably a very dark shading. So I'm just going to make it dark. Yes, and I can come here to my text, make it white, make it a serif. And most of you are asking, so Joe, what's serif? Don't worry, we'll talk about it. Okay, I can make it bold, and I think it's fine. Okay, I can adjust it again a bit, and then okay, ICT. Okay, so yes, we're just exploring it. Okay, we're just exploring it because these are the things we'll be using in when we start looking at some past papers. These are the things that you'll be required to do. So we're just playing around and we're just having fun with it. Okay, so we've talked about this, right? How to make it centered, right? How to make it vertically centered in the table across board. Okay, we've talked about this, which is for the cell. Okay, for the cell, you can make it center, you can make it top, you can make it bottom, and we all did that, right? So again, show or hide grid lines. Do we hide grid lines? How do we do that? So to show or hide grid lines, we go to borders and shading. So what do I mean? So for example, I have this, I'm going to select this. So my layout, I'm going to go to properties, table here, click on table, right? Borders and shading. Now I can decide to show the outer one. Then the width here is going to probably be 2. And this is going to be applied to the table. Take note, not to the table. And now we have this. So if I click on OK, watch what happens. We don't have this anymore. Okay, so we don't have any form of internal grid. It's called in paper 3 in web authoring, which you'll be doing when you're in year 11. You will be talking about internal and external grid line. So this is what we call this is an external grid line, and the one inside is called an internal grid line. So it's important for you to know that, right? Okay. Setting background shading of a table. I think I've done that. I've done that here already. So we've added some shading, background shading to it as much as possible. Okay, adjust the row height and the columns of well, we've done the row height, we've also adjusted it. Okay, and we've done that. Okay, so adjust column width, we've also done the column width as well. Let me just go to my layout properties under the table, borders and shading, and I'll just do everything, right? I'll just make it to probably just one. So click on OK, and then we have this. Okay, so wrap text. Now, if you're talking about wrap text, it's when we have a lot of words. Okay, so let's say, for example, I have oh, let's do this. So let me insert a new one below. Oh, Emanuela is still here. Okay, so let me adjust it. Let me just adjust it by the cells. For the rows I can specify, I can just make it 1.4. Nope, that also affected the cells. Nope, I can make the cells probably like 6. It's the same thing with the column. Whatever I do here, it's the same thing with the column. So 4.5, I think we have this. So I'm just going to make it, let's say. Okay, so we have this, right? So again, to add your grid lines, your ruler rather, view, and then ruler, okay? So I want to add something here. Insert row. Okay, so I'm going to have to adjust this. Layout, properties, my row. I can make it 1 point. Okay, so now I want to work with it. So I have this, right? I can just highlight this as well, and then come here to merge. So we have this together. Okay, no problem. So I can highlight this and merge this as well. So let's say I want to write something. This is ICT class dual to pay attention to what Mr. Ajiro is teaching you, right? Okay, maybe okay, he's teaching, right? So he's teaching. Okay, so I'm just going to do this. Probably I have to reduce the font size. So here is what we can reduce it. Decrease font size. So I'm going to decrease it. So this is for decrease font size. This is for increase font size. Okay, so now I want to wrap this. This is already wrapped at default, but here I have the wrap text. So I'm just going to wrap it here. So under this, watch this. I'm going to select this, go to properties, and on that table, I can say, okay, yes, text wrapping, none. Although I can wrap a table around it. I can wrap text around the table. So you should also take note of it as well. But usually text wrapping at default is because the cells are going to be is going to adjust it along with it. But for tables, cases when they tell you to, although I've not seen in past papers, but yes, we can look forward to it. When you have to wrap the tables or the text around the table, that is also possible. Okay, so do we need to do that? It's still the same thing with image, right? It's still the same thing. We can wrap the tables around it. And once we come here to select properties, and then we can choose around. Okay, we choose around here, and that will be done. Okay, so we probably need to reduce all this, and then we can see it work. Okay, probably I'm just going to do it, right? Let me just do it. So let me undo this. Okay, Ctrl Z to undo. Okay, so I have this, and I can just select this. Just going to select this. Properties, cells. I can reduce it to, okay, Let me just make it sales column, the same thing. Okay, 4.2 column, make it 4 point. You can see I'm moving, right? So to wrap it, properties, tables, and I will have around. So now, do we have any text? So we have a text here. So you can see that it's already wrapping itself around it as well. Okay. And this is because of how big our table is. Okay. So I think if I reduce it, just going to delete the rows, entire row. So now you can see that it's probably been wrapped, right? So it's now wrapped around it. So the whole idea. All right. Headers and footers. What's a header? Now, a header is an area of a document between the top of the page and top of the margin. A footer is the area of a document between the bottom of the page and bottom of the margin. So let's do that. Header. So I'm going to click on insert. Right here under the text, I have, so under the header and footer, I have my header. I'm just going to choose 3 columns, and now I can just type in my name, right? Just it, right? And I can take this here, delete this. I'm hitting on my delete key to do that. I can go to footer and pretty much just go to 3 columns, take everything off, and I can add my page number here, current position, plane number, click here, hit on delete, click here, hit on delete. So I have that. Now, what's the purpose of the header? So I have to close my header and footer. What's the purpose of the header? The purpose of the header and footers is needed to make sure that each of the page has the same element. Okay, they have the same. They have the like the page numbers, book number, titles. They are placed consistently within them. So if I place them in right align, it should be in right align. Okay, so that is very, very important. So the whole idea is that they can only be placed once, right? But will repeat or increment for every page. Now, another thing that it saves the author, right, a whole grid of time. Imagine if I have to be putting my page number, if I have to be putting my page number in every page, and I have 72 pages, you're just killing me. Literally, you're just killing me, right? Or I have to do this. Okay, I have to insert my name or the title of the book in each of the page. So it saves the author a whole lot of time to actually do that. Okay. So again, how do we add a header and footer? Under the header and footer, you click on header, and then that can be done. Okay. Okay. Now for PowerPoint, we've talked about PowerPoint. You're going to see they also have the header and footer, right? Where to make the footer or the footer visible, you have to check this, type in your details, and then you can now convert it to header along line, right? Ruler is important. Adding the ruler is important, right? I've shown you how to insert the ruler. Okay, so you go to view and then you insert your ruler here. Okay. Again, the whole idea of this, I want to explain this. This means the show and hide paragraph marks. Now, the whole idea of show paragraph mark is to ensure you're able to see hidden features. It displays what? Hidden features, formatting features that are not possible just by looking at a document because they are hidden. And one of the things that we use this paragraph, show and hide paragraph, the show paragraph mark is to properly remove page breaks. Okay, so please take note of that. So I'll click on it to bring it in and click on it to take it out, right? Okay. Okay. So again, don't forget left align, center align, right align. Okay. Yeah. Okay. There are times we can place date and time. We can place date and time into our work. So right here, I can just double click here. And then so right here, this is it here. I have this in my right align. I want to place my date. So I'll go to header and footer. right here under quick part, I go to field. Let me do it again. Quick part, field. Scroll to date. Remember our date now, chapter 7, DD/MM/YYYY, right? Okay. So I will just insert this one, literally just insert this one, and I'll click on. Okay. So most time you might be required to take a screenshot of this by showing the code. So to do this, I'm going to right click this and then click on toggle feed code. And now I can take the code for this. Okay, so that's very, very important. Okay, yes. So we have this. Yes, Chikam, so you can admit them to the group, right? Okay, so we have this. Okay, so that's done. All right, so we have automated page numbers. So we've done the automated page number, coin page, coin position, play number. Okay, don't forget coin position, play number. Yes, that is all for layout.